Did you at once throw all your VHS collection away in hopes to upgrade everything to DVD, Blu-ray, now 4K? Well, you might have just made a serious mistake, my friend. We're going to talk about why VHS is better than ever before in 2025 today. In today's physical media news topic video, we talk about the glory of VHS and why it's making a massive comeback in the year 2025. Yes, you heard me correctly, and we're going to get into a massive rant on why you can't discount VHS and just worry about 4K and Blu-ray. VHS still has a purpose, and I'm going to prove it to you today. And of course, we talk about the future of VHS and where it goes in the next 5, 10, 15 years from now. So let's get into it. But first, you love collecting physical media just like me, whether it is VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, beta disc, LaserDisc. Heck, you are in the right spot, my mega collecting friend. We celebrate all of the physical media world on this channel, so go ahead and mega blockbuster that like and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell so you're alerted when more physical media news and entertainment topic videos post. And leave in the comments below, do you think VHS is dead in 2025? But let's get into this. So now to celebrate the glory of VHS and blockbuster into this amazing news we have. Oh my gosh, VHS is making a serious comeback in 2025. We've noticed it the past year or so with these awesome new horror releases coming to VHS, with like the terrifying movies really being celebrated on VHS and even selling out some editions. And then you get Alien Romulus to VHS, and you're like, oh my gosh, is this the VHS revolution? Or what? I absolutely think so, especially for the horror genre. If you're a big horror fan like me, you gotta absolutely love this. Now, you may argue, hey, VHS, terrible quality. Why are we going back in time when we have 4K and Blu-ray now, all these great high definition formats? And don't get me wrong, I love the high definition formats. They absolutely have a purpose and can look phenomenal and sound incredible. But sometimes you just want a dirty, old, gritty kind of movie, especially with those horror vibes. You gotta sometimes play a VHS. Now, is it always going to be the go-to format? Is VHS really convenient? I mean, do you have your VHS player right now, strapped up to your classic old school TV? Most people probably don't, but I bet you some people do, especially some massive horror fans out there. They probably have that kind of TV set up with the VHS player just to get into those dark, gritty vibes, especially for spooky season coming up. I mean, imagine watching Blair Witch Project again on VHS. It's just truly a scary experience. Oh my gosh, there's just something about it being so grimy looking and just so dirty feeling and just that classic old school vibe that I absolutely love for VHS horror. Now, can this be done with other genres out there? I think so. Why not? Now, maybe not for the brand new visual effects heavy kind of movies. Do I want to watch Avengers Infinity War on a VHS? Probably not. But if you have kind of just a grimy type of grindhouse type of movie, whether it's a horror movie, action movie, I think it could look really fun on a VHS, like the Toxic Avenger that just came out in theaters. I thought was, some kind of fun and some kind of weird for a remake of a movie. But I'm like, you know what? This might actually look cool on a VHS home viewing. Like, call me cray, but I think the new Toxic Avenger on VHS would be incredible. Now, even if you don't plan to always play these VHS, they're really cool collectibles. Oh my gosh, there's just something about having VHS on the shelf, like a designated shelf for your VHS collection, that really screams like video rental store, especially when you got friends, family that stop by and they're like, oh my gosh, that is so cool looking, especially with the thick spines. If you can really do a nice design logo there, I mean, I think it pops way more than a freaking Blu-ray spine that's so crushed and just shrink down. I think those VHS thick spines can look incredible. So having an awesome VHS collection as part of your overall collection, I don't think there's a problem with that. I know there's some people that have purged everything. They've gotten rid of their VHS, DVDs, Blu-rays, and are like, only 4Ks for me now, yay! Why can't we have them all together and celebrate all physical media formats? I love having a shelf for VHS. I love having a shelf for DVDs, a shelf for Blu-rays, a shelf for 4Ks. Why can't we have it all together? Because they truly give you different viewing experiences, and I think they all have pros and cons to them. So I do think there's merits to buying these VHSs in 2025. Now, would I pay overprice or scalping prices for these VHS kind of limited editions that do often run out? I would not do that myself. But if you can find some of these classic VHS titles at a yard sale, I mean, oh my gosh, secondhand market, thrift stores, pawn shops, whatever it might be, for a good deal and just get a whole bunch of them, you can have a great viewing horror marathon with a lot of these awesome VHS titles. Or maybe you're a big Disney fan and you want to go classic VHS Disney, then why not? Those clamshell cases can be a lot of fun. And there's just some cool stuff with that old school VHS nature. So I absolutely love celebrating VHS in 2025. And I think as a collector's item, we're going to see more and more of them for different genres out there, especially the very popular movies where they think they can have a physical media collecting audience for. I think we could see that, like, hey, Predator Badlands coming up. Why not? Why not put that on VHS like they did with Alien Romulus not too long ago? But let's get into a massive rant once again why VHS sometimes is underlooked by a lot of the collecting community out there and influencers that are always just promoting the 4K fanciest editions. Let's rant on them hardcore next. So now it's time for a massive rant. Now, we've talked about on this channel why 4K is so freaking overrated. We know it's the priciest, fanciest items out there, these big giant box sets from these boutique label sites that are super overpriced and expensive, especially on a pre-order day one scenario. And a lot of, creators out there, they promote these big fancy titles because probably, they get a return on them, of course, for promoting it. No rock against them or anything like that. I understand, you got to promote this stuff, and it is promoting physical media, so that's super fantastic. I love to see all these different editions and titles promoted, but with promoting the fanciest super editions, sometimes the VHS, the DVDs, the Blu-rays even will get undercut and overshadowed, where I think we want to celebrate all the physical media formats. Like if there's a cool limited edition coming out for a new VHS, let's celebrate that. If we got a cool Blu-ray coming out, let's celebrate it. Why not just celebrate all these formats? And why is it only a focus sometimes on 4K? I get it. Ultra high definition can look and sound amazing if you have the correct home theater setup. But we've gone through this whole format journey where we've compared these different formats, and we found through evidence that they all have different pros and cons. 4Ks are not perfect. I know some people are like, 4Ks are definitively the best. Why not just get them all 4Ks? Well, come on. We know the problems with 4Ks. I've ranted on them before, but let's just say skipping and pausing of disc. Yeah, that's a major issue that you're not always going to see on some other formats. Now, VHS can degrade over time. I get it. They have the drawbacks there. The tape can get stuck and messed up in the player and then completely destroy your player. I get it. VHS is not perfect either, but sometimes it's just a fun scenario. Like I said, you turn the lights down, put on a super scary movie on a classic VHS, and it truly gives you a wonderful experience, especially for spooky season. Sometimes that's better than having the super sharp, cleaned up version of everything in 4K Ultra HD. Sometimes that's just a different fun scenario. Now, they're both can be great experiences, but sometimes you just want something different and don't want everything to look scrubbed like a new penny like they do on a lot of 4K Ultra HD discs. Sometimes you want the grime and the dirt, and sometimes that can be fun just to change it up a little bit. Once again, you need the correct setups for the VHS, just like you need the correct setups for the 4K. But if you can have different correct setups in your house to give you different viewing experiences for different genres at different times, I think that's the best of both worlds there, and you can really celebrate all the formats. Like I said, they all have pros and cons, but I think sometimes people get way too hyped over 4Ks and are just trying to sell you the most expensive thing out there. Here's this giant new 4K Steelbook box set with this pumpkin on it for Halloween, and it's so cool, and it's hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe a better experience or better value for you is just putting in the classic, John Carpenter Halloween on VHS and just having a really dirty, grimy time with it, a really scary, spooky time. Maybe that's more value than spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on this new fancy 4K Ultra HD Steelbook set. Once again, they're probably both really cool experiences, but they're both different experiences, and they both can offer different value to different people, different collectors at different times. So why do we only think of 4K the majority of the time out here on the internet. I mean, we're lucky if we even talk about Blu-rays anymore, right? How many announcement videos do you see promoting Blu-rays out there, let alone DVDs, VHS? Why can't we celebrate all the formats? Why can't we just celebrate physical media all over the world, all together, like we do on this channel? Maybe you guys can answer that in the comments below, of course. But let's talk about the future of VHS. Is this going to be a trend we see continue with these horror movies coming up? Like, is Weapons going to get a freaking VHS limited edition? Well, let's get into that next. So now let's get into the crystal ball and talk about the future. Is VHS going to make a major comeback to see it on every single freaking household and every single new release? Is VHS going to be everywhere in the freaking Walmart and Barnes & Noble stores? Hell to the no, it ain't going to happen. I wish it did. I love more formats. I love more options out there available. But will you be able to pick out some VHS limited editions online from these specialty boutique labels or even from these studios once in a while? I think so, absolutely. Like I said, we saw it with Alien Romulus. We've seen it with the Terrifier movies. I think for a lot of the big mainstream popular horror movies, we're going to see that because it's a cool collectible item. Even if people don't play it in their player all the time, it's still cool displayable item. You can get beautiful artwork with that thick spine there too as well. So I think we'll see it as a collectible item definitely on more and more titles as we go forward in the next 5, 10, 15 years, as it is a collecting niche market. I think you would agree with that right there. So I think we will see definitely more horror movies get it. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if Weapons got it. Like, I think Weapons on VHS would look amazing, just dark and gritty, and just because it's like a horror kind of thriller movie. I mean, that'd be perfect for spooky season. You turn the lights down, you're watching Weapons on VHS. Like, I think that would be scary as all heck. So for some of these popular horror movies coming out, and we've seen recently, I think we got to go a VHS option. Now, of course, have your 4Ks, have your Blu-rays, have your DVDs, but get that limited edition VHS out there for those hardcore collectors that really just want to celebrate all the formats and just have it as a fun collectible option for those really popular mainstream horror movies. So, like, let's get it for Predator, Badlands coming out and all that. I think that would be fantastic. Oh my gosh. Now, am I going to see it for every genre out there? I don't know. Maybe it would work for a Western movie. Can it give you a dirty Western vibe? Possibly. Would it be perfect for most superhero movies out there? Maybe not. But I think for some genres, it could work. It depends what kind of viewing experience you are looking for, because when sometimes it's a little bit blurred and you're kind of like, what's that in the background? Oh, and it jumps up on you. You get a lot more scared than when you can see everything crystal clear in 4K and you can see it 5 miles away. Like, okay, I know that creature's over there in that little corner over there, because it's just so sharp with so many pixels on the 4K. Once again, they're different experiences. What are you looking for, right? Do you want a super crisp and clean, scrub penning picture? Or do you want something a little bit dirty, a little bit gritty with the VHS? So I do think VHS is going to make a major comeback. We've seen little notices of proof here with some of these horror titles coming out the VHS in a limited fashion. But I think they're going to become more popular because those always sell out. Like, they're always a popular collectible item at the very least. So I think if we could get the price maybe a little bit cheaper, make a little bit more of them, I wouldn't mind having a few VHS like around me, background studio. Like, come on. Like, I've been wanting to update the studio background for a while. Wouldn't it be cool to have like a VHS shelf behind me? Like, that would be freaking phenomenal. I think that would look really cool for some of my, favorite new horror movies that came out. Or like I said, maybe it will work with other genres. Maybe not everything, but more options for collectors is never a bad idea, and it is a collecting niche market. So those are my thoughts currently right now on VHS making a comeback. I think the signs are there, guys. We're right at that line where we can see a big surge. But you guys let me know in the comments below. Am I talking cray? Are you like, VHS is dead? They only did that a few times. You don't think it would be successful in the long run? Or you're like, know what? There's a collecting market here for some VHS, for certain titles out there. I think it could make a fun little different experience. Let's hear those stories down in the comments below. Let's respond to each other. Hit the likes on our comments, of course. If you have that new hype feature in YouTube, hype it up there, guys. Let's get this video content out to more people and grow this amazing collecting community, because we're family here, guys. So if you haven't already, blockbust that like and subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and of course, have a great day watching and talking your movies, my friends. And you love this physical media topic, another great way to support the channel, just like Mega Blockbuster in another video, watching all the way through right now. And thank you so much, my Mega membership supporters. If you love talking and collecting movies, consider joining the Mega League of Film Fans through memberships to support content creation while gaining access to perks like shoutouts, exclusive videos, and future topic choices.